But yeah, here we go. This should now be the game actually live. We see the fuse get picked up by Repo. Over on the T side, Robin is going to be the utility man, as I've seen in basically every game. He does seem to be the player that picks up that supportive role. Nice find by Hyper, though. Gets aggressive, gets the first kill. Will be traded back by Chak, though. As now the T is look to just try and commit towards this A bomb site. There's a couple of players already here. One at the van, one coming up towards balcony, but nice find by Surreal to open this one up. And oh, Chak gets himself a second. So really good work right now by Epsilon as they completely open up this A bomb site and should be easily able to find the bomb plant. As we can see, both of those players were trying to flank around through B, but losing their teammates, they don't really have the time to get too much done. LTN, oh, gets a dink. Oh, still finds the opening kill. Rastic now given a bit of a chance as he finds one himself. 1 on 2, definitely winnable. Only problem is he doesn't currently have a defuse. Oh, there it is in front of him, so he's going to be able to pick that up, and oh, he gets a headshot in the process, so... Good work now by Rastic. Let's see if he's going to be able to find this one. He may just go ahead and straight up trying to stick this one. Chak, though, goes for the peek, spots him out that he's defusing, and oh no, Chak! How do you not get that kill? Ooh, that's awkward. Also, guys, if anyone was here yesterday when I was casting, you can probably notice that I've managed to get the CPU fans to quiet down. The GPU fans, rather, to quiet down a bit. Right now I'm working with a GPU that could literally heat my entire house. It's running constantly at 90 degrees whenever I have a game open or anything, so yeah. Force spike coming in by Epsilon though. Interesting since they actually got the plant, but I like the double AK setup. It is pretty strong. Cosmian sacrifices in order to drop one of those AKs, I believe. I believe that was dropped over to Smoothie. Robin able to get himself one also. The AK's just trying to find the opening picks at the moment over towards the A-bomb site. Let's see if they're going to be successful. Oh, Hyper with the UMP. He's the first one to get contact. Oh, he even gets a second. Cosmian doesn't connect the shot there somehow, and he didn't have Kevlar, so he just gets mowed down. But as we can see right now, Pompa are getting most of the kills at least. Surreal with the Deagle in hand. He, of course, still has the AK-47, and Surreal's getting a little bit of work done at least. He was able to find one kill. Spam away, and I believe take down Marcos to 74 points of HP. Nice Molotov. Not really going to actually deny the bomb plant, sadly, but allows for one more kill to come in by Rastic. So it's maybe a left and a 1 on 3. Picks up that first kill almost instantly, but oh, he goes for the fight, and Marcos is going to be able to take him down. Good damage in the previous round either way by Epsilon, and because of that it looks like they do want to buy up again. Very similar buy to the previous round in the sense that they don't have everything they want. They are going to be working with 3 rifles though, which is a bit better than the previous round. They have a bit of utility also. Not a great start though. Cosmian actually taking down quite low to 56. So roughly half of the damage before he's even able to actually spot out any players. Apologies, my PC will get a little bit loud still in the background sometimes, but I've been able to solve the issue mostly in terms of the fans. Temperature itself is still sky high, but let's see. Maybe with a bit of damage himself, being able to return that onto Repo. Doesn't actually expect the player up close, but he's still somehow able to win that fight out against Marcos, so that's a really good find now. 5 on 4 in favour of Epsilon, and Repo's actually the sole player that's actually in a position to try and fight. We see at the back of the site there is Hyper. I thought he was hiding, but he's actually up on top of the boxes helping his teammate, so that's good work. Damage being done. Robin finds one, and oh, Smoothie actually able to give his teammate the cover there as we see a player trying to push in through the smoke. And now the trade's coming back in favour of the CT side. 2 on 2, slight HP and firepower advantage for Pompa to work with. Oh, Smoothie, how does he get himself into this position? He was able to push in through the door. And now it's only Rastic that remains. Dropping out a balcony, he has been spotted, and Smoothie. Crisp little AK shot. Smoothie is here, he's just gone under the name Godia. So, Epsilon, the force buy working the second time around. And now it's actually the CTs that are working with a weaker buy. Nice find by Chak to get that damage done initially as well. Get that dink with the Galil and take down one player. I'd say in this matchup, Epsilon are probably the favoured lineup in terms of the recent performances. Pompa, though, they definitely have players that are not to be underestimated. Hyper, there with a lot of experience. Repo as well. And then a couple new kind of younger talents from the Polish scene that have kind of been hovering around that sub-top Polish scene, I guess, for quite a while. LTN, Marcos and Rastic, I've recognised all the names, but I'm not really too familiar with their experiences and achievements. But yeah, right now they're working with a man disadvantage. They have the one rifle still for LTN to work with. Very little utility. And oh, that's actually a really nice pop flash. We see Marcos allowed to take one kill. Sadly, he will be traded back. Chak with the Galil able to take down one also as Robin from drop will strike and drop Repo. I mean, only Hyper is alive now. We saw him tempting to once again go for that flank, similar to what we've seen on the pistol from Pompa. It was a little bit too late once again. But then again, Pompa, they were able to pull off the clutch to 2-on-4. Let's see if it's going to be a 1-on-3 this time for Hyper. And he starts it off as strong as he possibly could have by finding that first kill. Gives himself the opportunity to pick up an AK-47 as well, but by doing so he is just going to decide to go ahead and try and save that into the following round. Perhaps the better idea. As we can see anyway, they did invest everything into this round, so they're not really going to have any money left over to buy. So likely going to be a full eco with just this AK to try and get some damage done and give them an opportunity to try and pick up the round. After all, we know what damage can be done with just one saved weapon, never to be underestimated. Very heavy SMG buy into this round by Epsilon. No, they're up against an eco into this one. They decide to try and build up some bank. $600 per kill, of course, with those Mac 10s. Cosmin leading the way into mid is going to be able to take down one. Gives them access now towards this A-bomb site. Rastic with the USP getting a lot of damage done, but it's not actually going to be enough for the kill quite yet. But he has done the initial to now for perhaps allow to his team for his teammates to try and finish him off. Best of one? Yeah, this is indeed a best of one. We have a best of three coming up afterwards, though. Nice find, Hyper. Able to strike with the AK-47. Nice little angle as well. It's an angle that I love to use. Can be awkward, the T's don't always expect it, but Surreal pushes forward. It's Hyper instead that doesn't expect the player who's up close, and Cosmin, even while being low HP, is able to take down LTN on the flank. So good work by Epsilon. They have a couple players low though. I don't think hunting would be a great idea. Repo, if he could get his hands on one of these AKs, that would be ideal. Cosmin maybe could hunt considering he only has a Mac 10. So now, the buy coming out for both sides. LTN, in order to get himself some utility, decides to just go for an MP7. Let's see how that's going to work out for him. He's playing in a pretty good position, all things considered, underneath that broken wall. You can get a good bit of damage done if players come out up close, so just burst towards the head. But yeah, Smoothie gets the op out now. Still no up for the CT side, very little utility also to work with, with still just over a minute and 10 seconds remaining. As the T is, they're actually working towards the A-bomb site. We can see there's a couple players, 3 players here right now for the CTs to try and hold this one down. Smoothie is the man that leads the way, looking to try and maybe find an opening pick if possible, hoping that someone from the CT side will make a mistake. Marco's to go aggressive though, and with the use of a pop flash, he will be allowed to take that opening kill onto Surreal. So really good work. My PC, yeah, it will get loud at times. Apologies, guys. I am doing this cast in order to save up for a new one. I'm hoping my GPU doesn't explode. It's running at consistently 90 degrees whenever I have like CS or anything open. So yeah, it's a bit messed up. A fellow caster, actually, Dinko, my Northern Irish brethren, is sending me a Ispire 760 to use. So hopefully in the next couple of days I won't have this issue with my PC being loud in the background for you guys. I'm just a very unlucky person, so apologies, guys. On the bright side, though, it means I don't have to pay my heating bill. My PC is running at 90 degrees, so that's good. Nice work, though. Epsilon, just able to overwhelm this B-bomb site. I got a little bit distracted. Apologies, guys. So Repo, last man standing, probably just going to be trying to save this M4. So if you hear a bit of background noise as well, I have to leave both of my windows open. I don't usually leave any windows open or anything while casting, but I presume it'd be best to let the cold air in if possible. So if you hear any like cars or anything in the background, I'm very sorry, guys. I'm doing my best to try and bring you this action at the highest quality I possibly can. Oh, Repo getting a bit of damage done. That's actually pretty good work, able to take down both Shaq and Robin. Let's see, he might still be found though. Smoothie probably doesn't want to hunt with this op. If he handed this over to Repo, that would be amazing for Pompa, considering they're not really going to have a buy in this next round. They do have some money bonus built up, and oh, Smoothie gives away the op. That's definitely a big mistake. You can see he's not even going to have enough now for it. Well, he would have had enough, but he goes for the AK instead. I just realised I'm talking a bit fast, guys. I know I see there's a lot of Polish people in chat, so I'll try slow it down a little bit. As an Irish person, I tend to just speak very fast by default, but I want to make sure you guys can actually understand what's going on. So yeah, just to save AK for Repo, some pistols and Kevlar also been purchased up. Smoothie right now trying to get something done towards the B-bomb site, and she does find the exposed back of Rastic and takes him down. Maybe traded back though. LTM with a nice find on the 5-7. Not a weapon you see too often anymore, but he makes it work for at least one kill before he is going to be taken down by Chak afterwards, and Robin able to hold the mid flank. Finds one, spots out a second player. And as we can see, B is completely open, so this should be an easy enough bomb plant now to come in for Epsilon. CT should hoping to try and get themselves this AK, which Repo will be able to find eventually, but with no other teammates left to pick it up, it's a little bit useless at this point. Other than getting some damage, of course, onto the economy of Epsilon. I'm guessing that means Cobble a tier or a CT-sided map, what the X-Upper does. It's usually considered slightly T-sided. Not a lot, just slightly. Jest is hello, right? I asked this last time I was casting Pompa as well, but I forget at this point. Oh, that nade might get... Oh, it bounced back. I was going to say that nade might get some damage done, but back onto the buy now for the Pompa side. Let's see what they're going to be able to do into this one. They have the op this time as well, which is a positive onto Marcos. They didn't have that to work with yet in the game, so a little bit of a change. Let's see how this one's going to work indeed for them. And, ooh, such a good angle by Smoothie, but he doesn't expect a second player up close. That allows for Rastic to go ahead and find themselves that trade. So good work to at least bring it back into a 4-on-4. But this will still favour Epsilon slightly. They're able to split the CT defence up. And Robin, how has he got himself into this position? He's going to be able to completely open up the B-bomb site. Finds the first. So his position is now known. But Rastic, as the sole defender here, is going to have 4 players coming in his direction. He gets off to a good start, at least by finding one. As now the T is trying to commit out through drop room. They're in a 3-on-3. They just need to stick together now. We can see the closest player to try and assist is the off player coming in through connector, but it's going to be surreal to open up the bomb site. Cosme and spamming through gets some damage done. He himself not looking so healthy though, down to 12. Nicely placed flash though is going to force Marcos back off the angle for the moment. Nice shot by Cosme, and that's basically going to be the round now. Hyper, not really much you can do other than save. So yeah, Epsilon getting themselves another round now. Up to 6. Looking good, especially when you consider that Pompa actually won the first 2 rounds of this game. So the last 6 in a row have gone in favour of the European mixture. Let's see now. Pompa, by no means are they out of this game yet. They are working with pistols and Kevlar once again into this round, but Smooya, similar to in quite a few previous rounds, is going to be the one to open this one up with a frag. It's costly in terms of the HP, but it's a good find, and has been able to do similar over towards the B-bomb site with the support of Chak. So it's only going to be Repo and Hyper now that remain. They're definitely going to be struggling to get too much done in this round. A bit of damage would still be pretty decent, but you can see Epsilon building up economy on most of their players. Robin and Smooya, who have been the ones to kind of go for those opening kills and actually get taken down, are the ones that are not really sitting with too much economy, but enough remaining on the other players to kind of negate that effect and still allow for a buy to come in after they lose a round. And of course, after winning this round, they should build that up quite a bit more. Surreal, he's looking to try and hunt. Repo playing up close with the 5-7. He hears the footsteps. Surreal could be in danger here, but he is going to be able to win out that fight and get himself a nice headshot. So Hyper now, last man standing, looking to try and save the M4 again, but he's been spotted out. Robin finds that kill, and all 5 players survive for Epsilon as they get themselves a 7th round onto the board. Back onto the buy now. Marcos once again gets the op. This time Smooya doesn't actually have one, so he has a bit of an advantage in that sense. He's going to look to try and go aggressive, and ooh, he spotted the first player. I was going to say, not taking the shot quite yet, but he waits until only a pixel is shown to make it a bit of a more flashy flick indeed. As now, the opportunity for more may be handed in his direction. Smooya, he's getting up close to mid, he's getting close to walking into the crosshair of the op, which could be dangerous, it could be fatal. We see the shot being hit, of course. This is the best round that started for Pompa in quite a while, so having this 5-on-4 advantage, something they haven't really had the luxury of so far. There we go, Smooya. He'll be the one to go ahead and say no, equalise the situation, actually bring it back now in favour of Epsilon by finding a second and completely opening up this A-bomb site. Oh, nice timing by Repo. Here's the footsteps and just able to spam through the smoke, finds a Cosmine. That's a great find now. Even with the bomb gun down, it's going to be a 3-on-3 after plant. Decent nade though to get a bit of damage connected onto Repo. Looks like it's going to be a very fast retake indeed by the CTs. The bomb has just gone down. They're going to try and deny the afterplants for the Ts, and it's working successfully, as you can see. Surreal now all alone. But he gets the first, but the HP being so low on both of these players, it's definitely doable. Oh, he gets the first, and now it's all on the LTN. He's taking the bomb, and he doesn't have a defuse kiss. Surreal with the massive 1-on-3. Does a great job to deny Pompa from getting themselves another round onto the board. So now 8 in a row in favour of Epsilon, and that 1-on-3 is going to be... It's going to be really affecting the mentality of Pompa. Yeah, I see a curve in the chat. I was expecting that after that 1v3 being lost. Pompa now not really having the greatest performance so far on the CT side of Cobblestone. Need to step it up soon. Otherwise it may get a little bit too difficult for them to actually get the comeback later on. They need to get enough rounds to work with on the CT side in order to have a chance on the terrorists on the offense. Nice fent by Cosmine to trade this back after the first kill was fent by LTN. He gets himself actually a triple spray down. So nice control on the AK-47 there by Cosmine. And now Pompa down to 2 players. Should be out of this round once again. Cosmine. Nice timing. Able to find Hyper just as he jumps up through the window. So now only Marcos in connect. They're hoping to maybe try and take an AK-47 for himself, but I don't really think it's going to happen unless Surreal overextends, which he probably shouldn't be doing. They know rather that the rifles didn't come out for the CT side, so that they are going to be looking to try and pick up one of these AKs. Here we go. Surreal gets himself one. Why does Epsilon have a default loss? Do they? I don't know. Apologies, man. I'm not 100% familiar with the bracket. I just cast the games. There's been some that I didn't cast, so I kind of missed out on some stuff. But yeah, a pause is going to come in by Pompa. This isn't the tactical, which I would definitely agree with at this point. I'm presuming we're going to see a double up setup coming in now by Pompa. Something that can work out on Cobblestone for holding down the sites initially, but it's if Epsilon are able to find those opening kills and take one over, then the retakes can become near impossible, really, is the best way to put it. So, let's see. I presume with Hyper buying one up, Marco's having enough to get one, with him being the primary upper. I presume it's very likely to happen. And here we go, we are going to be getting back into the action. Smooth, yep, back on the op as well. Interestingly enough, Marcos actually doesn't go for an op himself. That's a bit of a strange choice, especially considering he's the primary opper. Hyper is going to be playing with this op over towards A instead, I guess. Perhaps something they're deciding to give a bit of a chance. Perhaps Marcos just not really feeling the op at the moment. You can see he actually is at the bottom of the scoreboard. Mostly due to the fact that he hasn't really been allowed to pick up the op. He hasn't had the economy to do so. Repo in a great position. Nice find to get the first. Is going to be traded out by Robin. And Smooya is there to go ahead and take down Hyper, who looked to try and peek out and bring it back in favour of Pompa. But instead Epsilon now claim themselves a man advantage, as well as full control of this A bomb site, other than that one player who's kind of in position and towards danger, which is actually allowed to catch one player off guard. Marcos somehow was never spotted out in that position. Jack and Robin though are instantly going to return that to make sure that it's only going to be one player now alive for Pompa, and that it should be another round going in favour of Epsilon. They should be easily able to reach double digits with it only being LTN left in a 1-on-3. He is looking to try and go for this one perhaps. At this point they need the rounds, but he's just going to be instantly dropped by Robin. Best of one? Yeah, it is indeed a best of one. The next game afterwards is a best of 3 though. Oh, nice position by Marcos up close with the UMP. Only finds one somehow. As the USP comes out, he gets a little bit lucky there to take down Surreal in the background. So, good work to find 2 at least. The only problem is, still the firepower is going to be heavily in favour of Epsilon. You see only pistols for Pompa to work with. Actually, Epsilon just beginning to fall back off, which is probably for the best. As you can see on the radar, it's a bit of a stack towards the bomb site. 3 Pompa players are already in position. After they notice that Epsilon are no longer committing, they will rotate a second back to try and support towards B. But it seems like it's going to be a bit of a fake. Robin making a lot of noise, hoping to try and pull the rotate, which it's actually doing. You can see Chak and Smooya just working together up A long, and they may even be able to bypass Hyper. Hyper making noise actually as he pushes in through mid. So also we're going to have Robin aware that the flank is coming in. He should be able to just hold for this and take the player down. But he works his way into the drop room instead. It looks like he wants to try and go towards Connector and split onto the A bomb site with his teammates. Oh, and he finds the kill onto Repo. Great opening find indeed. And Hyper, he's rotated all the way around towards B now, the long way. And you can see because of that Epsilon able to get full control of the A bomb site. Robin, they're aware that he's lurking around these shadows somewhere. Able to find one before eventually falling. Able to control that spray quite good enough, but he'll be able to at least shut this down for the moment. And I was going to say LTN being able to retrieve that AK could get dangerous. Wasn't able to get the words out for some reason, but he finds one kill before eventually being dropped, and it's Epsilon now to take their lead up to 11. 9 rounds rather in the lead, 11-2 in terms of the scoreline. It's not looking good for Pompa. Epsilon, looks like we may see a bit of a faster paced round coming out of them. Nice attempt by Rastic to go for that aggressive pick, but he doesn't really get lucky enough to actually find it. I believe he was just a couple millimeters off. LTN lines them up though as they jump out through the smoke. Drops the bomb as well. Jack going to be the only one to return a kill so far for Epsilon. So Robin now is the last man standing in a 1-on-4. So this should be Pompa finally getting themselves a third round unless some serious mistakes are made. But as Hyper flanks out and finds the exposed back of Robin, that does indeed ensure that they are going to get up to 3. If they can get up to 4, if they can get this final round in this half, they still have a decent chances as long as they pick up the pistol also. Because then it'd get a little bit close. So by no means is this over yet for Pompa. One thing I like for Epsilon though is how split up the score is. Actually, it's similar for Pompa. No one is really performing poorly at the moment. It's kind of just, I guess, Epsilon kind of outplaying their opponents. You can see everyone has the kills. It's just been going mostly in favour of Epsilon. And it looks to be another fast round now coming in. They're going to be just making their way immediately towards this B-bomb site where the trades will be found early on. Going in favour of the T side. Surreal steps it up to find a quick double headshot. Claim a nice advantage for Epsilon to work with. 4 versus 2, and Surreal continues pushing forward. He loses a teammate and is going to be the one to actually return that. So the aggressive push does work out in the end. And he's actually allowed to fall back and fade away. No chance for Hyper to try and trade that one. And of course he has to try and actually go for the clutch. He's in a 1-on-3. It is the final round and a half. And Smoothie instead is just going to walk directly out and find a headshot for himself. Didn't want to wait for the bomb to explode. Wanted to end that ASAP, apparently. So yeah, Epsilon with a 12-3 half. Really good performance from the European mixture. As I mentioned, crucial pistol for Pompa. If they had got that 4th round, it would have put them in a decent position. Now they just needed to try and keep themselves alive. Let's see if they're going to be able to do so. A fuse kit for Chak as well as a smoke. Interestingly enough, it's not Robin, the man who I mentioned normally does actually pick up that stuff. Pompa picking up a Molotov and smoke on Hyper. I believe he's the IGL for the Pompa side, so as expected. Fast play now towards the A-bomb site, it seems. A couple players over towards the drop room. Perhaps they're looking to try and split onto A. Or actually, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a fake that's been sold. So Hyper really just using all of his utility to pull this rotate off. And you can see how well that's worked. Right now there's 5 players in connector. Are they aware? I don't think so. They will eventually turn around. But because of that, it's been the B-bomb site completely taken over by Pompa. So an absolutely amazing fake is sold. That's probably the most effective fake I've seen in a long time. Especially on a pistol round. Great work. Rastic gets 1. Ooh. Trades out the damage there. Robin down to 24 also. But Surreal returns 1 kill at least. But it's the block of Rastic once again to step it up as he spins around. And all the kills after that go in favour of Pompa. As they take themselves a 4th round. Grab a lifeline to work with now. How much time has Epsilon been playing with this squad? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's about 2 to 3 months at this point. Nice opening kill by LTN. Need to make sure they can actually withstand these pistols. Can't underestimate them. After all, it is CSGO. We know what damage these CZs especially can get done, as well as the Deagle in the hands of players who are capable. But in this round, that doesn't really seem to be happening other than that 1 kill. Nice goes the spam for the smoke to find Surreal to close that one out. So good round by by Pompa, rather, able to keep themselves up with 4 players. Only losing LTN, so not really much damage done by Epsilon, which is what you need if you're a fan of Pompa right now. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see them build up economy so that if they do eventually lose a round, they can just instantly buy back up and break the economy of Epsilon. That's when the gap really starts to close, when you're able to just keep breaking the economy and only working against 1 or 2 buy rounds in the space of maybe 5 to 6 rounds in total. So, yeah. This should be an easy enough round with no real pistol upgrades coming in other than the 1 Desert Eagle. Hyper gets the 1st kill. Gets himself a 2nd headshot as well onto Surreal, as the UMP looks to try and chime in as well to get some extra economy to work with. That's actually a really good find by Smoothie. He's able to pick up an AK somehow. Smoothie has kind of made a mistake a few times hunting with the weapons that he probably shouldn't be doing. So this time it's the AK, but previously with the op when he was on the T side, giving that up to, I believe it was Repo who was saving, was a bit of a mistake in my opinion. What's the difference between Fish 123 and Epsilon? Hard to explain, I guess. Fish 123 is not specifically just the Epsilon players, but they are a part of it. Fish 123 is just a massive like mix where loads of different players play in it, depending on who's available. I think that's how it works. Honestly, I don't really follow UKCS, which I need to start doing because I was supposed to be casting the ESL UK Premiership alongside Hawka, but I had a few passport issues, so But I do need to try and revise up on UKCS. It's just very difficult to follow. When you learn something, it could be different a week later, so it's a bit awkward. So now, Epsilon able to get the buyout. Not going to be perfect though. After going for the full investment, they aren't allowed to have the off, nor are they really working with a lot of utility. And now they're also going to be working from a man down. As you see, opening pick going to be found by Marcos. Jack returns one at least over towards A long. Now it's actually a bit of a HP advantage. And Robin, we've seen in the previous half, a player from Pompa was able to spam through that smoke to find a kill. And now he's going to be the one to find one instead. Found with that UMP to put the advantage back in favour of Epsilon. Sorry guys, just got a little distracted. This is winnable right now actually. See, Repo is low though, that's the main problem. Oh, if he had found that kill there onto Surreal, he would have got that one. Because the time was so low. That got a little bit awkward in the end, but Epsilon able to get themselves a 13th round now. Pompa, luckily enough, the rounds that they did take, they done so fairly cleanly, so they're able to have still a pretty solid buy into this one. It is actually slightly better than what we see coming out of Epsilon. They're going to be actually stuck only with one UMP. The rest of the players with the M4s though. And once again, the opening kill is going to go in favour of Epsilon. Two players still ready on this bomb site. Jack almost spamming his teammate down through the door right there as he tried to time the shots after the flash came in. But Pompa, they've kind of been completely stalled over towards the ramp position. They haven't been able to push forward. It's Hyper towards B instead that actually managed to lurk out of the drop room and find Surreal. And it seems like they're not even going to go back towards B with this. Instead, they're going to push up to A long where they may be found. You see Jack gets aggressive. He finds himself one. Hyper to get a second though. Interested, it's still a 3-on-3, and with that kill, that's definitely now going to seal them committing to this B bomb site. There is still one player ready to try and hold this down. That being Cosmian, the player who's looking the healthiest. He has a Molotov to work with as well. This is going to be still a pretty difficult round for Pompa to try and pull off. Oh, nice nade. That's going to finish off Hyper, I think. There we go. Great find. Now it's a man advantage, and just two players trying to push up through the smoke are going to walk directly into Cosmian. They do blind them up with a great flash. That allows for the kill to be taken. Nate going back in there by Smooya gets a small amount of damage, but none really too substantial. Marcos down to 30. Repo, he'll be the one looking quite healthy, but it's not really much better for Epsilon either in terms of the HP. And with 25 seconds to work with, they can go for this tree boost to try and find the kill from above. Will Epsilon expect this? The answer to that seems to be a no. As now Repo brings the advantage back in favour of Pompa, and he's still up on top of the tree where he should be able to find the final kill. Great work by Pompa to bring that one back from a 2-on-3 and manage to take the win. At the end, spots out one player there to get a bit of damage done. Jack is allowed to escape back though. As I mentioned as well, that's what Pompa were kind of aiming towards. They were looking to try and get that reset on the economy. Well, I was saying if they did lose a round, that's what they'd be looking to try and get, and that's why they themselves needed to win those rounds quite cleanly. You can see that pays off now. Able to break the economy of Epsilon. Epsilon on a force buy. If they lose this, they will be onto an eco. That'll allow Pompa then to bring themselves up to 9 rounds, and that'll be the gap really beginning to close. As a 5-on-4 now in favour of Pompa. Cosmin in a good position though. I was going to say he has the chance to maybe try and drop 1 or 2 players, but gets a little bit overzealous, tries to push forward to get some info. Perhaps it was a good idea since they had that disadvantage, but it doesn't really work out. And even with the A stack coming in, it seems like it will be just picked apart. LTN with the AK able to find himself a couple of kills. And Usmi is the last man standing. He should have the chance to get this AK for himself. He has the flank coming in. Oh, he goes for the knife and he misses it. No, Smuya, no. Oh, that is horrible. That is UKCS. That's going to be on the top of Reddit soon. You could just... I think not even watching Smuya made that better. You just heard the noise of the knife swinging and hitting the wall. That was brilliant. I'm still laughing from that one. Hyper, working that opening kill once again. Over towards the B-bomb site this time. Chaka only has a P2000. If he had a weapon, this would be such a great position. They don't actually seem to... Oh my god, he gets 2! They don't notice Chak for quite a long time. He's still able to stay alive on 100 HP. And that's for the rotate to come in, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to be enough to actually get this round. Robin now the last man standing. This is Zeus. He was looking to try and get a kill with that. I still don't really understand the Zeus. You only get $100 for a kill with it, so it's not even going to help towards your economy. And there we go. Robin will fall. 3 players alive for Pompa. They built up a really good economy now. A short pause is going to come in, I've just been told as well. It is a technical problem for Epsilon. They're having trouble with their TeamSpeak supposedly, so hopefully that won't last for too long and we'll be able to get back into the action. Nice opening kill by Smuya. Getting aggressive down to danger. So with a little bit of a pause being taken by Epsilon, they had some time to talk things over. And early on it seems to be working out. We see Robin being able to claim one also. Will actually be traded back by Marcos and LTN. So this B-bomb site now getting into a bit of trouble. Hyper from long is going to be the one to find himself another kill onto Surreal. And now, man advantage claimed for the T side. Taking full control of this B-bomb site. Only Chak and Smuya remain. And without a fuse kit, this one is going to be quite difficult. I'm not sure if there is one that's been dropped that they can pick up. But the full 10-second defuse is what they're going to need rather than only 5. For anyone who doesn't understand how that works. Nice find by Chak though. LTN trying to work with the off angle, but he was just too low HP. He wasn't able to connect the headshot quite quickly enough. And now Smuya, spamming through the wood, actually able to get that damage in and finish off that player. Now Marcos, last man standing, gets one, but as I mentioned, no defuse kit. And because of that, Chak has to go for the fight. And unluckily for Epsilon, he is not going to win that one out. Jack tries to get aggressive. Gets taken down by LTN. The man advantage and firepower advantage now going to be in favour of Pompa. Smooth smoked back off of his position. Ooh, back and through. Gets a little bit close with those shots, but doesn't actually connect any damage, unluckily. Couple kills coming in. Cosmin able to get one onto Repo, as was Robin able to find one. So a couple of kills, a bit of damage at least being found, but not really too substantial. Surreal now is the last man standing in a 1-on-3. Has the chance to maybe pick up a weapon towards middle. You can see that Marcos actually decides to hang around to try and deny that, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do so quite as actively as he'd wish to because of low HP. Oh, but he finds a Surreal. Oh, almost had the AK out in time to get that kill, but in the end, Pompa get themselves up to 11, and Marcos, another Molotov on the ground, so he decides to burn the remains of Surreal. As now the buy comes back out for Epsilon. This time they have the op as well to work with, into the hands of Smooya, of course. Something they haven't had yet on the CT side, I don't believe. And a small bit of damage early on is going to be found by Chak there as he throws the nade out to take down a player to 80. That was Marcos. Not too substantial, but it is actually when you're on the T side, because those M4s, they do roughly 90 with one shot to the head. So Marcos now, a dink will kill him. Interesting spam by Repo. Actually a kill taken by Marcos over on A long. Will be traded back by Cosmi, and as actually lines up 3 players and gets a lot of damage done in that spray. But oh, he gets chased down as he's reloading. That's the problem with the M4A1S, only 20 bullets in the mag, in the chamber rather, as he is going to be taken down eventually, but Surreal steps it up when it's required, and the bomb slides straight down the ramp to him. Will be traded back out by Hyper though, so into a 2-on-2 now. Definitely still winnable for Pompa, but not really a lot of time to work with, which could be a problem. You see Hyper with the bomb has to try and cross to the site. Smooya has been spotted out now, and he may be caught off guard. He doesn't actually seem to be aware of the position of Hyper, strangely enough. And Marcos looking to try and find the final kill onto Robin, who now is trying to clutch this one out. 2 HP for Marcos, as it allows for the first kill to be found, as now Hyper is the last player alive in a 1-on-1. Playing around the bomb site, the bomb is planted indeed. No fuel skip for Robin to work with, but it doesn't matter. He finds that kill with plenty of time left, and he runs around to pick up the op. So that is going to be Epsilon now getting themselves up to a 14th round. Good work by Robin.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Just got over 1,000 viewers, guys. Thank you for tuning into the stream so much. Hopefully you're enjoying this action just as much as I am. And hopefully you're enjoying my casting as well, of course. But yeah, right now, it's going to be Pompa still able to get themselves a buyback out. So if they can reset the economy once again of Epsilon, they will be in a pretty good position. You can see Epsilon with basically no money left in the bank. So a round win here from Pompa would force Epsilon into a double eco, which would allow for Pompa to actually bring it up to 14 to 14. So that is not what you'd want to see as an Epsilon fan. So crucial gun round now for Epsilon to pick up. Otherwise the scoreline is going to get extremely close. Oops. Didn't mean to expose you there, Surreal. Hit off my keyboard by accident. As it looks like Pompa are going to just try and commit to this B-bomb site. Flashing over the wall. We'll use that to try and blind up a couple of opponents, but it doesn't really work out. Smooya, as well as Surreal, are going to be able to open this up. So the two UK players to start it off. We're trying to find the trade. Aware that this player's up on 3, but he won't be able to do so. Surreal and Smooya with 2 each. Cosmian going to be the one that closes it out. And now Epsilon up to map point. As they need 15 to 11. Pompa is still able to buy into this one, but they need to pick up 4 in a row to force overtime. So 4 chances for Epsilon to close this one out. Robin, that nade should do a decent amount of damage. It actually does damage onto Marcos instead. I thought it was going to bounce off the wall and hit Hyper, honestly. But Robin, I think he's been playing with UKCS players too much, because that was a UKCS molly. Smooya and Surreal moving off on their teammates. Smooya though, he will be stepping it up in this round to find that opening pick. Gets first blood onto Hyper. And claims a man advantage now for the CT side to work with. Oh, I like this. Pop Flash going to be coming in through the smoke. Check looking to try and get aggressive. Oh, but he walks directly into the crosshair of 2 players there. Will get taken down. So not really ideal. Nice find there as Smooya now at the op. Hits the shot to drop the bomb. LTN is going to fall. Now a man advantage reclaimed for Epsilon to work with, and it's going to be increased even further by Robin as Cosmian is able to find one also. Now it's only Marcos that remains in a 1-on-3. Smooya finds that kill, and Epsilon will close this map out 16 to 11.